The camera glides into Weekend Update like it always does. Soft lights, twinkling Christmas decor, the desk dressed up in tasteful holiday cheer. The music fades, the smiles are calm, professional, safe. It feels familiar, comforting, almost cozy. This is the part of the show where viewers lean back and think, okay, I know what this is. And that's exactly when the floor drops out. Before the audience can settle, the rhythm snaps. Jokes come faster, sharper, landing back to back with no breathing room. The smiles tighten. A beat hits half a second too early. Someone laughs just a little too loud. The calm cracks, and everyone feels it. This isn't a warm mug of cocoa Weekend Update. This is espresso. Then comes the tease. A Christmas joke swap. Harmless, festive, innocent. At least that's how it's introduced. But the way the cards are handled, the hesitation, the glances, the barely suppressed grins tells a different story. These aren't jokes you volunteer to tell. These are jokes you survive. The audience senses it instantly. Laughter bubbles up, but it's nervous now. That special kind of laugh that says, oh no, they're about to do something incredibly stupid, and I need to see it. Bowen Yang's energy cuts through first, controlled, sharp, a smile that knows more than it's letting on. Aidy Bryant radiates comfort and chaos at the same time, like someone who's been here long enough to know this can go wrong and is thrilled it might. Kam Patterson brings an entirely different voltage, raw, unpredictable, the wild card you don't hand the keys to unless you want fireworks. And suddenly, the desk isn't a desk anymore. It's a launch pad. The audience starts reacting before the punchlines land. Gasps, claps, that rising pre-laughter that happens when people realize they're watching a high-wire act with no safety net. Someone adjusts in their seat. Someone else covers their mouth. A laugh explodes too early and makes everything worse, in the best way. You can feel it now. This isn't about jokes. It's about trust, about giving someone else the power to embarrass you on live television, wrapped in tinsel and holiday cheer. The smiles are still there, but they're different because everyone, on stage and at home, knows the same thing now. Holiday episodes always come with weight. Not the sentimental kind, the pressure kind. Bigger audience, casual viewers tuning in, families watching together. Clips guaranteed to travel farther and live longer than a normal week in February. On Christmas episodes, Saturday Night Live isn't just performing for its core fans. It's auditioning in front of America's living rooms, phones, and group chats all at once. And nowhere is that pressure felt more than Weekend Update. For decades, Weekend Update has been the show's safe zone, the anchor desk, the familiar rhythm, the place where jokes are sharp but controlled, edgy but insulated by structure. Even when the sketches go sideways, Update usually lands on its feet. It's the segment that reassures the audience, we've got this. Which is exactly why what happened next mattered, because this time, that safety net was being cut. On purpose. The premise sounds simple, almost cute, a Christmas joke swap, comedians reading jokes written by someone else, a festive twist, a little chaos wrapped in holiday paper. The kind of idea that sounds like a throwaway until you think about it for more than 5 seconds. Jokes aren't just jokes to comedians, they're identity, rhythm, timing, point of view. A Bowen Yang joke doesn't sound like an Aidy Bryant joke. A Kam Patterson line isn't designed to live in someone else's mouth. Each joke is calibrated to a specific voice, a specific face, a specific tolerance for risk. Take that away, and you're not just swapping punchlines, you're swapping control. That's where the tension creeps in, because joke swapping isn't randomness, it's controlled chaos. Someone, somewhere, decided who gets which joke. Someone chose how far to push. Someone decided which lines would be mildly uncomfortable and which ones would flirt with disaster. And everyone at the desk knows it. You can feel it in the way the cards are handled, the way nobody flips one over too quickly, the way laughter comes a beat early, like the audience is bracing for impact. This isn't improv, this is premeditated risk, and that makes it scarier. Especially on a holiday show, Christmas episodes are supposed to be warm, nostalgic, rewatchable. This is when SNL leans into tradition, not experiments that could blow up on social media before the good nights even roll. One misstep here doesn't just flop, it becomes the clip, the one people remember instead of the laughs. And yet, here they are, about to hand each other jokes they didn't write, didn't approve, and absolutely didn't rehearse emotionally. Each performer is stepping into a comedic minefield they didn't design. They don't know where the edge is. They don't know which line might land sideways. They don't know whether the joke is clever, reckless, or perfectly engineered to make them squirm. That's the thrill and the danger. The audience senses it too. This isn't passive laughter anymore. This is alert laughter. Eyes wide, bodies leaning forward. The kind of energy that only shows up when everyone in the room understands the stakes at the same time. Because now it's not just about being funny. It's about trust. About whether you trust the person who wrote the joke. About whether you trust yourself to sell it. About whether you trust the audience to come with you when things get uncomfortable. And someone at that desk was about to test all three, because one of them was about to read a joke they absolutely did not want. Every story needs a villain, but this one doesn't walk on stage, doesn't speak into a microphone, and doesn't even have a face. The antagonist here is chaos. Not reckless chaos, not slapstick chaos, but the most dangerous kind in live television. The quiet, creeping unpredictability that waits for timing to slip, for confidence to crack, for one wrong breath to turn a joke into a moment you can't take back. On Weekend Update, chaos is usually kept on a short leash. The format is rigid, the beats are known. The desk is an anchor in every sense of the word. That structure exists for a reason. Because comedy, especially live comedy, needs boundaries to survive. Tonight, those boundaries are being tested. Look at the desk and you can see it already. 3 very different comedic energies sharing oxygen, all of them aware that they're about to lose control in different ways. Bowen Yang thrives in precision. His comedy is scalpel sharp, designed to cut exactly where he intends. Every inflection is deliberate. Every pause is part of the joke. He's unpredictable in content, not in execution. That makes him dangerous in the best way, and uniquely vulnerable when the words aren't his. Aidy Bryant brings fearless warmth. Her power isn't shock, it's trust. Audiences lean in because they feel safe with her, even when the joke takes a turn. She can sell discomfort through sincerity, which is exactly why handing her the wrong joke could flip that warmth into instant chaos. And then there's Kam Patterson, raw, kinetic, and unfiltered. His edge comes from momentum, not polish. He doesn't creep toward a punchline, he charges at it. That energy can light up a room or blow past the guardrails before anyone can stop it. These aren't just different styles, they're different risk profiles. Now layer on the central tension, comedy ego versus vulnerability. Comedians protect their jokes like armor, not because they're fragile, but because jokes are personal. They're shaped by voice, lived experience, and instinct. When you hand someone else your punchline, you're handing them your reputation for 30 seconds of live television. That's the real gamble here. Because now success doesn't just depend on timing or delivery, it depends on trust. Trust that the joke was written with care, trust that it won't sabotage your persona, trust that the audience will understand the mismatch and laugh with you, not at you. And live audiences can smell fear. They hear it in the pause before the line. They see it in the eyes flicking down to the card one more time. They feel it when a laugh starts too early, like a pressure valve releasing before the joke even lands. The threat isn't that the jokes won't be funny. The threat is something worse. Embarrassment, breaking, a clip that escapes context and lives forever online. Because in 2025, a joke doesn't just land in the room, it lands on feeds. It gets slowed down, stitched, debated, misunderstood. One awkward delivery can turn into a moment. 1/2 second of hesitation can become a meme that follows you longer than the laugh ever did. That's the villain tightening its grip. You can see the performers calculating it in real time, reading not just the joke card, but the room, the audience, the internet they know is waiting just outside the studio walls. This isn't about bravery, it's about exposure. And the most dangerous part? None of them know whose joke they're holding yet. Chaos hasn't struck, not officially. It's just hovering, patient, quiet, inevitable. The time that doesn't kick the door down, but waits for you to open it yourself. The desk is still standing, the smiles are still intact, the audience is still laughing, but the safety of Weekend Update, the illusion that this is all under control, is already cracking. Because once those cards change hands, there's no pulling back, no edits, no second takes, just live television, live laughter, and whatever happens next. And then the first joke card was handed over.